tremendous looking trophy.
Hello, welcome to Platinum Explosion, #1 PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. My name's Tom Blight. Joining me, as always, Ashley Hobley.
How you doing? Excited to be here. Another episode of Platinum Explosion, the #1 PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias.
That's what I said.
In case people didn't know.
Okay, fair. In case I didn't know. I say it every episode. If you didn't know it by now. Yeah,
Could be someone's first episode.
Okay, that's right. Okay,
Which,
yeah, very true.
Which
Welcome.
case, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I honestly, I would be sorry because we don't have that much news this week. So it might not be the biggest, eventfulest, most #1 PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. But we'll try to hit you up with some news. Basically, what's on the show this week, couple of things, and then we're going to talk about some Last of Us stories. Because it was Last of Us today or whatever they call it.
Last of Us Day now.
Last of Us Day, Outbreak Day.
They got rid of Outbreak Day. They retired the Outbreak Day now.
Did they? Oh, I'm sorry. Why? Because Corona?
I think so.
Right? Did they do that
last
year?
Last year.
I missed the memo?
I think they changed it last year, yeah.
Oh, maybe we talked about it. I don't recall. If so, there you go. Really don't remember. So it's just the Last of Us Day now.
It's just Last.
Got to be honest. I hope we go back to Outbreak Day once this is all over. I feel like we can move on. Sure, we can move on. We're not going to be that much of a stickler, really. Do you think, like, as a society that we can't, like, they're like, nah, that's it. No jokes about outbreaks. No jokes about viruses. Because I hate to spoil it, when the Last of Us TV series starts, which we'll be talking about later, that's going to hit hard for some people.
Well, listen, there's like been a bunch of shows recently that have been about
viruses.
So
that shit's going to hit hard for the anti-maskers when Joel and Ellie are making sure to put on their big face things whenever they're around the open spores and whatever.
Spores? It's a super tricky.
It's a lie.
Like, what the fuck? It's a
you
lie.
don't need those. Fucking losers. All right, let's get into it. Firstly, Sony has interesting, exciting, fantastic list of ideas for future PlayStation 5 updates. Right, PlayStation Lifestyle. The launch of September's PS5 system update was a second major revision to the console's firmware, adding a number of big features and changes, including enabling of the PS5 SSD expansion bay. By the way, my thing's been posted. Let's do a live Amazon check. Da, 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 da. I actually don't know what song. What song is that? Da, 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 da. I don't actually know. Hey, but it's a song.
The original, trademarked.
I'm pretty sure it's a song. I just don't remember what it's from. Estimated delivery is fucking October, 7th of October. Really? Nah,
that's
mate.
like really far.
Nah, mate. Sometimes they're wrong though. Like I heard something delivered from Amazon today, and it said it wasn't due until next week, but it came out this week. So it was coming from the European land of Britain. So we shall say. Anyway, where was I? SSD expansion bay. But Sony is far from complacent as the company works on the next system software update. In fact, according to SVP of Platform Experience, Hideaki Nishino, they have an interesting, exciting, fantastic list of ideas for future PS5 updates, both from before the console even launched and based on community feedback. In an interview with PlayStation blog, Nishino revealed that they have a big list of things they want to do in future PlayStation 5 system software updates, much of it from learned behaviors and data gathered across the 8 years of the PS4's life, saying, quote, "So, we had a gigantic list of things before PS5 launch that we want to do. Actually, we dreamed of doing everything. Did I just digest the whole list? I don't think so yet, but there are interesting, exciting, fantastic ideas on the list." But it's not just about internal data. The launch of the PS5 has also given the team a wealth of feedback about how players use the system and what they want from it. Quote again, "We are receiving a bunch of feedback from the community through social network or system telemetry." Telemetry? What's that? How would they get that? What do they get? Is that just the system analytics, I suppose, or whatever? Yeah.
Yes.
As well as the media, my family, and my friends. Shout out to old Nishino's friends over here. We have tons of lists of the feedback. Some of those won't come as major firmware updates though. Nishino says it's become more dynamic, saying, quote, "Our updates aren't just about the major firmware updates. It's if you look carefully at the PS5 system over the network, we're changing the UX behavior quite often." He said, "Sometimes we do some customization for a certain group of people to see how those features are used. So it's dynamic now." So what's next on the exciting list of ideas for the PlayStation 5 system software updates? The Shino isn't specific, but he does say they're working diligently on features that the community is asking for. So I'm quote, when I look back at the list of things that we need to do, there's a lot. There's a lot of the community is asking for as well. And the Shino said, I want to say in the Japanese way, I'm diligently working on these lists and there will be more coming out in the future. So my question is, Ash, off the top of your head, what do you think should be in the next PlayStation 5? Like, what do you desire? What do you desire for your PS5 to do? What do you think should change?
I really don't know. I haven't given it much thought. It's like, cool, they'll let us upgrade the storage, like, internally so we can have more storage. Everything else is pretty fine and dandy at the moment. There's, like, no major things. There's, like small things, like, I know over on Xbox you can like pre-download a game before you've even purchased it. That would be a cool feature to have, especially like here in Australia. It's like I can start downloading the game midnight and then go buy my copy of the game at video game shop, come back, put the disc in and start playing straight away. That would be a cool thing to add. But, other than that, I can't think of too much other than like better social media integration. Obviously, we got the Discord deal coming through next year. Yeah. I don't have much that comes to mind. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, my standout stuff is either just like connectivity stuff, like Discord type stuff I just wish would come sooner. Trophy stuff, I still just want fine-tuning of
just like
the tracking stuff.
If I need to get 100 kills or something, I want to know exactly how many kills I've done.
Yeah. I mean, I love more. I still just think it's really nice. Like,
just give us all the stats. That's the other thing.
Yeah. I just want, I want playtime down to the second. I want, you know what I mean? Like, I just want all that sort of stuff. But I just don't know if that's a PS5 update. That's more I don't know. Is that a network update? I don't really know. Could be either or. But that's the stuff that I'm personally most interested in. So that's the sort of little features that I'm sure would get mentioned at the bottom of the blog post when they do a big update with something else they consider to be the big flagship thing. But that's the stuff I want to look out for. And then the other thing I'd love to see get a bunch more work put into it is the PlayStation app, which I know I complained a lot about the original PS4 one, and then we had this sort of the new one for like a year now or whatever, or since the PS5 launch that came out slightly before or whenever it was. I just still think there's a lot of work to be done on there. Namely, the number one thing that shits me off is, say if I redeem a game code or purchase something or whatever through the app and the store, and then I click library, it sorts it alphabetically. And if you like, there's no way to click. I just want it to be able to click recently purchased, and I want the game I recently purchased to be at the top of that list, and then I can click download. Because quite often, if I get something, it gets lost or you have to scroll forever, and then weirdly, if you search for it, it takes you to the store and it's like, you need to buy it, and I'm like, I have already brought it or whatever. It's just like a weird thing. And there's a bunch of other things for the app I'd like to get fixed too, just to add more features, be able to look at my playtime on that, be able to see maybe the trophy tracking stuff on that, just general stuff that as someone who likes looking at that stuff, I'd love to be able to look at it on the go, not just from my console, I guess. But yeah, I guess that's the main sort of stuff. Just more connectivity. Fall Guys has a Guinness World Record. Right to Eurogamer. Fall Guys has a Guinness World Record for being the most downloaded PlayStation Plus game ever. Developer Mediatonic made the announcement on his website without saying exactly how many PlayStation Plus downloads it has seen. But it's got the thing. They said, we just want to say a huge thank you to the wonderful Fall Guys community. Moments like this would be literally impossible without your enthusiasm, feedback, and support. So, what to say? 24 hours after its release, it had more than 1.5 million players. And as of December 2020, Fall Guys had sold more than 11 million copies on PC. So I don't know if you can get some idea of PlayStation Plus numbers across there. But my favorite part of the story though, like it's not really that they won the award. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. As far as like PlayStation Plus games that are getting downloaded, them being the most downloaded PlayStation Plus game, that does add up. But my favorite part is the fact that PlayStation has obviously opened up the golden Pulp Fiction briefcase to show these stats to an official Guinness World Record person to get the stat, but they still don't want to even after now having this be a thing that they could like sort of flaunt around and go like Guinness World Records, good job, good guy, Fall Guys. They still haven't gave them the permission to flaunt those numbers. PlayStation's like, nah, you can't. You gotta just. You've got the awards. You don't need to know the numbers, which makes me think that even if you got like the Guinness World Record book, it would say like has the most downloads. Doesn't tell you how many, which is just weird.
Just
like,
the most.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like any other thing.
I mean, it's not going to be in the book, but
no, probably not. It might be. I don't know. You know they do that gamer one. You know how they do the gamer Guinness World Record book? Surely it'd be on that one. Yeah, haven't you seen those? They have a gamer one. Yeah, so they have a gamer Guinness World Record book. It's only full of gaming specific records. So you won't find it in your normal hammy spoons, the Jim Bob carry across his nose while holding onto a chicken leg. You're not going to find that in there, but you will find it with the most EVs a Pokemon player caught in a 24-hour period or some shit like that. Some real random specific nonsense. It's a thing. You Googling it like you don't believe me? It's a real book.
No, what I'm thinking is, how good of a deal was it for Guinness to get in on sponsoring these world records?
I think
just
you
double
have to
checking.
pay. I think you have to pay to get them to like confirm your record or whatever. You pay Guinness.
No, but is Guinness? Yeah, Guinness the brewery is behind the world records. Is what I'm saying.
Oh right.
It's like such great brand recognition.
I want to drink a Guinness right now. You know what I'm saying?
Never had a Guinness before.
Neither. So maybe it's not working for them as much as we think. Maybe it's.
But
not.
Even if Guinness goes bankrupt, there'll always be the Guinness World Records.
That's true.
Until somebody else purchases.
I don't know how much those I don't know how much these records do these days because like they used to be cool. You used to have to buy the book, but now all this information's sort of online, I guess. When I was in primary school, I remember looking for Guinness World Record books, like no internet access and being like, fuck this book. These books are filled with fascinating things, But now you can just read about this sort of stuff. So I don't know. Gran Turismo 7 pre-orders are up. PlayStation blog details them. The Ken Chan, product manager SIE, writes, following the release of Gran Turismo 7 trailer from the PlayStation Showcase last week, we're excited to finally share details of Gran Turismo 7 pre-order items and the 25th anniversary edition. So we was talking about last year about how there was a lot of shout-outs in that trailer to the 25-year history of Gran Turismo, shout-outs to the first three games in particular and parts from their original trailers. Yeah, it's all making sense now because they're specifically putting out a 25th anniversary edition. So they're very digging hard into the nostalgia for the fan base. So if you pre-order anyway, you get a bunch of exclusive cars, $100,000 in-game credit and whatever else. But there is a physical edition as well. So it includes Porsche, Mazda, Porsche 917K, Mazda RX Vision, Toyota Castrol, the music of Gran Turismo, official soundtrack, 30 manufacturer/partner avatars, Toyota GR Yaris with country-specific livery, 1,100,000 credits, and a PS5 game disc and voucher for the PS4 game, and most importantly, a steelbook case. So I haven't pre-ordered this because I couldn't bring myself to, but I was very close to, because I got to be honest, I'm not like a super. Pretty. I'm not super, Gran Turismo crazy over here, but I will say, I do think as far as steelbooks go, it's a pretty good one. Do you reckon? Do you rate it?
It is a nice box. Yes.
It's a nice box. Yeah. Did it make you want to play the game more? Or?
Not really.
Okay, that's fair. But it's a nice box. Nice little steelbook there.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's definitely one of those ones
interesting the inclusion of the PS4 voucher.
Yeah, after all the Horizon hoo-ha. All that nonso jumbo. But that was the opposite direction, I guess. See, this makes sense to me. This is what I think they should be doing with PS. I never got so you buy.
So do you get with the PS4 voucher? Do you get the PS5 version of the game still?
No, I don't think so. I bet you it's just
because obviously I thought they were including it for people who don't have a disc drive but want to have the collector's edition.
But
because they want to put the box.
Here, let me put it this way. 4K Blu-ray discs all come, at least as of recording, Blu-rays, discs, right? And this always used to be a good selling point, I thought, because I used to think, like if you're someone who doesn't have 4K yet, you haven't upgraded to a 4K TV, but the price difference between a Blu-ray and a 4K at Avengers or whatever comes out, it's not a major price difference. I always used to think like if you were planning on upgrading soon, just buy the 4K now, future-proof yourself. It comes with a Blu-ray anyway. So maybe if you're someone who's like, I don't have a PS5 yet, I'm struggling to get one, but I'm planning on getting one in 6 months, maybe you want to buy the PS5 edition, you secure yourself a PS5 disc for down the road, and you get a PS4 code to do yourself until you get one. Similar sort of system, I think. Similar sort of vibe to it. And I think this makes more sense than the free upgrade the other way. Like this is like you're giving away the cheaper one. That makes sense. Not giving away the more expensive developed one or whatnot. So yes. And there's a digital deluxe edition as well, which has the basically the same sort of stuff plus a PS4 and PS5 entitlement included. Code if you do the pre-order for the digital one. So it gives you code for both if you do the digital thing, as well as the rest of the stuff. Talking about racing, just want to shout this out because this actually did kind of blow my mind when I saw it the other day. I was like, fuck, that does look good. I had a lot of doubts if this was real, but then I saw so many people writing about it. I was like, okay, maybe this is real. So the gamer writes, no one can believe how realistic Ride 4 looks on PS5. So just quickly, in case no one's aware, Ride 4 actually came out like late last year, October, November or some shit like that. I can't remember. So they write, Ride 4 is a motorbike simulation game from Milestone that launched on PS5 earlier this year. Despite it being out for nearly 8 months now, a gameplay video of it from YouTuber Joy of Gaming has reached over 1 million views in a couple of days thanks to how photorealistic it looks. So have you looked at this video?
No, I'm looking at it now.
It's fucked.
This is just cam footage. Why is someone claiming it's a PS5 game?
It's real.
Yeah, real life footage of someone on a motorcycle.
It's real gameplay footage.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you not think it is?
No, it is. Yeah, I can tell.
Okay. I was about to say, there's like some...
see if my acting was so good.
There's some key giveaways like during it. But doesn't it look fucking good, right?
It does, yeah.
Like I was shocked that no one had like pointed this out previously, like and sort of like how quite good this is.
I think it's the small details like power lines everywhere.
Power lines.
That seems that's like an unnecessary thing to put on like a track. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like you can tell at times it definitely is a game. There's like some sort of like the houses or like
the houses are all
signs
similar.
Or like random sort of goon people in the background, or like if you get closer to some of the other people racing, like they're sort of like there's some like a plasticky elements, I guess, and also like if you pause it long enough, you can tell it's a game. But I'll tell you what, in motion, I was like, "Fuck, this looks good." And it's quite funny that this has been, and you just like this was making the rounds this past week, but it's an old game, so the gamer continues. The combination of high frame rate, head bobbing, camera shaking, and overcast weather make it look as close to real life as a racing game can get. It's not hard to see what a clip has gone viral so quickly, as it could generally be mistaken for GoPro footage at the right resolution. It's important to note that several things that seem to be making the footage seem more realistic. According to Pushsquare, for a start, the downcast weather conditions apparently make the game look more photorealistic than some of the other weather settings. The footage is also coming from the game's replay mode, which adds all of the head movement and camera shake. Those two elements combine to make the footage incredibly realistic. Although the game does still look pretty impressive on its own, it's clear that a specific set of conditions is what's making the game stand out so much. The clip going viral has also caused some gamers to look back on photorealistic releases such as PS4's Drive Club, and one user has shared the Drive Club in their reign, pointing out that the 8-year-old game does look good. And yes, it does. Like, it is like a sort of testament that if you get the right sort of conditions and whatever else, that sort of helps these sort of games look good. But yeah, I would encourage anyone, if you haven't seen this clip going around, it was making the rounds, at least if you pay attention to, I don't know, where the rounds happen. You know what I'm saying? Where the rounds happen?
Yeah.
Like a fucking...
The roundabouts happen.
I saw a post on Twitter like mid last week or whatever. Like someone shared it or it popped up. And I was watching it in bed on my phone. And I was like, man, this shit looks... I did have that... Maybe for like first 10, 15 seconds, I was legit like, good joke, everyone. This is GoPro footage, obviously. But then I realized, like, as I was looking closer, but yeah, like first 10, 15 seconds, I was like, man, this shit does look pretty fucking good, eh? Like, I don't know. Maybe the smaller screen of my phone also helped it a lot better, because I think the bigger screen you watch it on, the less, more gamey it looks like. But yeah, pretty good, especially for an old game. Or, I mean, it's not old, but something that's been around for nearly a year. All right, Last of Us. Let's get down into the rabbit hole. And you know what? Fucking, we're making this Last of Us segment. I can't be separating these two things. Welcome to the Last of Us segment. We're going to talk about the game stuff, and then we're going to talk about the movie thing. Usually I play a little intro there that separates it, and it's called PlayStation Productions, but fuck it, we're doing it now. Happy not Outbreak Day. Ta-da! That was like a zombie sound. I don't know. IGN writes, Naughty Dog on the Last of Us multiplayer project. In short, we're working on it. While Naughty Dog may not have revealed any details on the upcoming Last of Us multiplayer project, it took the time on Last of Us Day 2021 to ensure fans that it is actively working on it, and that it will reveal more when it's ready. Naughty Dog's Rochelle Snyder shared the news in a community update after thanking the fans and the team who all collectively made The Last of Us into the success it has become. Jokingly, Naughty Dog would then included this question as a fan would write, saying, quote, yeah, that's lovely and great, Naughty Dog, but what are you doing with The Last of Us right now? In short, we're working on it, Naughty Dog answered. We see the community comments as many of you clamor for multiplayer and want updates. For now, we'll say that we love what the team is developing and want to give them the time to build out their ambitious project. We'll reveal more when it's ready. To that end, we've been busy growing our team inside the kennel since The Last of Us Part 2 launched, and we're currently in full swing of hiring the multiplayer-related positions, hint, hint. So if you or someone you know qualifies for anything you see on our jobs page, apply. So I don't think there's anything mind-blowing here. However, outside of the stuff that we talked about a couple weeks back about the job, Naughty Dog job postings, this is, I guess, officially the first time that the Naughty Dog has officially gone that the Last of Us multiplayer project is officially a thing. You know, we've gone from rumor to, hey, there's job postings, to here they're like, look, it's a thing. It's coming. Just shut the fuck up, which is good. There we go. No more hush hush. No, let's get a little bit less hush hush in the games industry, and a little bit just more like it's a thing. Let's get more towards being like the film industry. Like it was a little bit less hush hush. And no time you hush hush is if you're filming the fucking 10 Cloverfield Lane and it drops out of nowhere, and little Dylan's over here going, oh my God. That's all right. Every now and then you can have a little bit of a secretive project, but otherwise, let's get it happen. And then let's end out with The Last of Us HBO series. First image revealed of Pedro Pascal's Joel and Bella Ramsey's Ellie. Right, it's the IGN. In celebration of The Last of Us Day 2021, the first image of The Last of Us HBO series has been revealed, and it shows Pedro Pascal's Joel and Bella Ramsey's Ellie in the post-apocalyptic world made famous in PlayStation exclusive of the same name. While we don't get to see their faces, the image gives fans of The Last of Us and newcomers an idea of how these characters will be adapted for the live-action series. The image also shows more than you may at first notice, as Joel and Ellie's outfits and backpacks are very authentic to the game, showing the care the team behind the show, which includes The Last of Us director Neil Druckmann, are putting into it. Speaking of Neil Druckmann, he also shared the image on Twitter alongside, saying, quote, when I first saw them on set in full costume, I was like, holy shit, it's Joel and Ellie. The at HBO adaptation of Naughty Dog's Last of Us is full steam ahead. Can't wait to show you more from all of our projects. Happy #The Last of Us Day. We also see a downed airplane in the distance, but it's unclear if that'll be part of the plot of the first season or just something in the background to show the horrors this world contains. There was no scene with an airplane in The Last of Us, so this may be a new story we will be exploring for these characters. What'd you think of the first image of HBO's The Last of Us, Ash?
I think you look at that and you go, "Oh, that's The Last of Us." I think, I don't know. I think that is a shot that you would just the silhouette of those characters is kind of fitting and perfect. It's like, yeah, that looks like Ellie and Joel. I mean,
Looks
it
like
must
the
be
back
very
of their
early.
heads,
It
yeah.
must be very. which you see. That's what you look at the most during the game. So
It's
you're
true.
very familiar with the back of their heads.
Sure, I guess so.
It must be very early in the show because they don't have any weapons. So, they must be about to find some, scavenge some.
He might have something in
Would
his
share.
hands, like a pistol. Just not a bat with barbed wire
guess.
wrapped around it. And
There's no
whatever.
rifle or shot,
Yeah.
bow and arrow.
I hate to
Yeah.
burst your bubble, but I highly doubt they're going to carry around as many weapons as Joel carries in the game. Yeah.
They're not. That's bullshit.
So I got to be honest. I didn't love it. I think it's because like I scrolled past this first, and I actually thought it was just like sort of a fan photo the PlayStation account had shared, like a fan cosplay one. And that's not to say it's a bad fan cosplay one. I just thought it was a good fan cosplay one, not like the actual HBO thing. And I think like as far as like sharing the first look at the series, I just think it's like an odd, not particularly. I mean, it's a good image. It's just not like super exciting. And I guess it comes down to, I don't know, maybe it's just the framing of it and like what they're looking at. I'm like, it's a downplaying big deal. Like I don't know. I would have preferred just something. I feel like as far as like a first look, first picture, if I was like to dream of what that would be, it would be sort of recreate that nice cover photo with like Joel really close to the camera and like Ellie in the background, or
Like
something.
them in the car. Or
Them in the car, them in the city, rubble with a fucking clicker in the background or in front of them, or them looking at a clicker or something like that. I just think like they're in a field as a down plane. I'm like, I'm not buying into this down plane being anything more than it's a fucking crashed plane. You know? That's all it is. There's no super secret theory to this. It's a plane. They're going to scavenge
it's
it.
interesting. How did the plane crash?
Someone.
Are we assuming someone got on the plane with the?
I'm assuming someone got on it when they was infected and
Yeah.
it crashed. D-Day or whatever you want to call it, sort of scenario.
Bloody anti-vaxxers.
Yep, bloody anti-vaxxers. Yeah,
They felt sick and they went on the plane anyway. Terrible.
typical. Should have worn a mask. Yeah, I mean the costumes look good, obviously, from what we can tell. Very authentic. So I guess the people who need their video game adaptations to be 100% authentic and no gives, ifs, or buts will be pleased. But yeah, like I wasn't mind blown by this, which is fine. Doesn't change my mind. I'm still excited for the series. Just like, meh, it's all right. Hope we get more soon.
Yeah, I mean it's always a difficult one. Like what you're going to pick to be the first look at something.
Yeah.
Obviously, we had that Netflix to dumb thing over the weekend with a bunch of first looks at a few different things. And yeah, it's tricky to pick what images to, especially for a project that they're still filming and is probably a long way away. How do you market that? And still, obviously, they want to hold a lot of stuff back till, they can release that first sweet trailer and then get people super hyped. But yeah.
Did you also see the amount of people who are like, oh my God, Ellie doesn't look anything. The actress doesn't look anything like Ellie. I'm
How
like,
do you
how the fuck do you tell? Like, it's literally a
that,
girl.
that looks like the back of Ellie's head. So
Yeah, I'm like, it's a young girl.
It's a girl with a
fucking
ponytail.
backpack on with a ponytail. Like, how does that not look anything like the character? It looks exactly the same as the back of fucking Pedro Pascal's head looks like it. They both look exactly like the characters because it's probably the best angle to make them look like the characters. Like, the second you show their faces, that's when you're more likely to be like, oh, they don't look like the characters. What the fuck are you on about? But all these people are just finding any reason to fucking complain about this shit. I swear to God. Yeah, I'm keen. Hopefully we'll find out more soon. Because I guess I'm still presuming they're going to try and have this come out in that sort of early 2022 period, in my opinion. I don't know. Like, I still think that's what they're
I don't know.
aiming
They're
for.
still filming, so I think second half 2022.
You reckon?
Yep.
All right.
I mean, maybe they release it Last of Us Day next year.
No. I'm going to say that I reckon HBO is going to turn this out pretty fast. I reckon HBO is going
to... I guess it depends on how special effects heavy it is and how good they want the special effects to be.
I'm going Q1 2022.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not joking. I reckon HBO is pretty, like, from what I've always seen, like, if you ever paid attention to some of the stuff they ever do, like, and I'm thinking about how much special effects is actually needed for this show realistically and whatever else. This isn't your Joe Schmo CW over here. It's fucking HBO. They got millions of dollars, right? I'm going Q1 2022. And I think they can slip this show into a nice slot between some of the other stuff they got going as well. So, because they want to market this to non-fans. That's the thing. They got to fit it into their schedule at a nice point to get the right audience. Because honestly, all the gamer bros and gamer brodettes and whatever the fuck else who are big Last of Us fans, you're going to watch this shit anyway. You don't really need to market to them.
Yeah.
All these people complaining are still going to watch it.
That's the interesting thing. And I think it's obviously, again, to bring it back to obviously they had the Netflix thing over the weekend. Mm-hmm. They had the big Cowboy Bebop thing, which, you know, got mixed direction. I think fans of these properties need to accept that these movies and projects are not for them.
No. My favorite thing...
These are for
the
like, non-fans.
Not related to the PlayStation, but Cowboy Bebop. 2 reactions to that. I saw people go... There was no middle. I saw either, oh my God, it's such a good recreation. I'm really excited for this. It looks so good. Or, they don't look anything like the character. No, there's three reactions, right? Really happy. This looks great. I love the way they recreated it. Awesome. Then you've got the complete opposite, which is they don't look anything like the characters. John Cho looks fucking dumb. Fuck this show. And then you've got this weird sort of dichotomy in the middle where people going, it looks too much like it. So now I'm actually turned off and watching it because it seems like they're trying too hard. I'm like, there's really like, you can't.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. We shall.
But yeah, these things are for people who haven't experienced this stuff before. More than it is for the actual fans of the property.
That's what I'm saying. Like, HBO does not give a fuck about marketing this to PlayStation fans. And I'm not saying that it's just simply because why would they need to? Like, all the PlayStation fans, Last of Us fans, they're going to watch this. They do not need to market it to them. That is a waste of money. That's a waste of time.
I don't know if they're going to watch it.
I guarantee they'll watch it. They're going to watch it. They're going to watch it. Anyone who's a Last of Us fan considers them a Last of Us fan, even those motherfuckers who are like, SJW's Lou and the Last of Us 2, fucking, you know, all that bullshit, they're going to watch this. All those motherfuckers who complain about Last of Us 2 being the worst game ever, they're going to watch this. They're all going to watch it, at least the first episode. I'm not saying all of it, but they're all at least going to watch the first episode. And even the ones who aren't watching it live, they're pirating the fuck out of it. This is going to be pirated the fuckery. They're all watching it. You know, PlayStation can market this to them. That's the other thing. PlayStation, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, free marketing for HBO. They're probably not even playing PlayStation. They're going to market it anyway. You know, the social media person for PlayStation AU, are they getting paid to tweet about this when it goes live on HBO? No, they're going to be tweeting about it anyway. Going, oh, Last of Us is out today. Who's watching? You know? All these people, it's fine. They don't need to worry. HBO needs to market this to people who watch Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead and whatever else and go, look, here's a big budget property. Don't mention it's based on a video game. Don't, like, that better be a low on the totem pole of ways to market this show. If it was up to me, mentioning it's part of a big video game franchise, so get that shit out of there. Market this like it's just a big budget, epic story. I don't know. Go the road meets fucked up shit. I don't know. Like, just fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm putting out here, Ash? You know what the fuck I'm saying?
Sure.
You know, don't fuck. All right.
Not really.
No, it makes sense there. All right, that'll do it for this week's episode of Platinum Explosion. Thank you for joining us for the episode and listening to me ramble on about whatever the fuck that was. Let me know if you have any comments, questions, or concerns about the show. Discord or Twitterers. Head to explosionnetwork.com/Twitter for our Twitter pages. Head to explosionnetwork.com/Discord for our Discord. If you liked this episode, thought it was worth $1 and or more, head on over to explosionnetwork.com/support, where you can head on over to our Ko-fi page via that link and drop $1 and or more to help keep the lights on, the mics going, Thank you very much. Until next episode, remember that every trophy counts. Also, side note, in case anyone's expecting me to talk about it, because I only just remembered and I forgot to mention it before at the start of the episode because I got distracted. I have downloaded and turned on Death Stranding Director's Cut for a total of a couple minutes, auto-popped as many trophies as I can, but I have not started playing yet, so that's why I'm not talking about it. Thank you. Maybe next week I'll talk about it. Thank you very much. Bye.
Fake Death Stranding fan.
Hey, don't forget you can subscribe to the show wherever you're currently listening, and you can drop a review if you can. Find more great shows like this and more content over at explosionnetwork.com. And please consider supporting us for as little as $1 over on our Ko-fi page by heading to explosionnetwork.com/support. Thanks for listening.